Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome and thanks for finding us. I hope you're doing well. I hope you like my hair today. Well, it's like grown wings over here. I feel like I'm going to take off and start flying in a minute. I've been told this is Bruce Lee. If you know the answer to that, let me know. I've had this since I was a kid. And I'm not entirely sure who it is, but someone told me that it's like a bad action figure of Bruce Lee that was made at some point back in the day. But my movies are all in the house. If you heard the drama of that story, that's why there's nothing behind me right now, because there was the roof of this building leaked, and so I had to take everything away to avoid it getting damaged. I want to jump right into this video, but I do want to shout out to my patrons because they support this channel. They provide the money that I use to buy the releases that you see reviewed on here, and they do all kinds of incredible other stuff to support me, like sending me releases and letting me know that things are coming out and stuff like that. So it's a great community. If you feel like hopping in there, you can join for $2 a month or $5 a month or any other level that you feel comfortable giving. It would be much appreciated, but obviously no pressure. So let's jump right into this. It's Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome has released they have announced one release, 2 movies that I think will be of interest to people who are big fans of this channel, and it's in partnership with the American Genre Film Archive. These are not Hong Kong films, they're Taiwanese films, but they are kind of classic, old school, batshit martial arts films. Shaolin Invincibles and 7 to 1. They're coming out as a double pack. The $39.99 is the list price, but then $27.99 is what they have it on sale for on the Vinegar Syndrome website right now. It's got a really cool slipcase, as all the Vinegar Syndrome releases do. So I'm going to read you a little bit about this film. The 2 films, excuse me, that are in this set. One was released in 1977, one was released in 1973. They are combined 175 minutes long. Aspect ratio is 2.35 to 1, and they are in Mandarin and then English. So, details. Special limited edition spot gloss and embossed slipcover, limited to 2,000 units, and is only available on our website and at select indie retailers. Absolutely no major retailers will be stocking this. So that means no Amazon or anybody else like that. And then this ships in mid to late March, so within the next couple weeks, it sounds like. The American Genre Film Archive represents the world's largest theatrical catalog of exploitation cinema, just to give you an idea of what that is. And I believe that Paul Thomas Anderson and Nick Winde-Refn are both on the board of the American Genre Film Archive, so it's got like some really big names involved. Shaolin Invincibles. Wizards, gorillas, blood spurts! You've never seen a Taiwanese martial arts movie like this one. 2 sword-wielding sisters seek revenge against the villains who murdered their family. But these are no ordinary villains. They're wizards with giant elasticized tongues who use black magic to control Kung Fu gorillas! Starring the magnificent Judy Lee and the fierce Carter Wong, this supreme basher combines the electricity of a Super Nintendo video game with exceptional fight choreography to deliver an otherworldly experience. I hope you like my announcer voice. Just the way that this started, I felt like I had to do a voice like that, so I apologize for that. But should I just start talking like that all the time? Like, I would like a coffee, please. I'm just going to like the coffee shop and and a muffin. So next up is 7 to 1. An earlier film from the director of Shaolin Invincibles, 7 to 1 finds Ting, who is played by martial arts whirlwind Polly Shang Quan, on a revenge-fueled rampage following the murder of her father. Assisted by her rock star samurai boyfriend, I think a lot of us have one of those, Ting rages against all manner of street gangs and malcontents. This gonzo Taiwanese battle epic is filled with non-stop fights, bootleg soundtrack cues, and incredible stunt work from the effervescent Quan. That to me sounds like one of those nutso Japanese movies, like a Takashi Miike movie or something like that. Actually, they both sound like they could have been made by Takashi Miike. So this is a region-free Blu-ray. So if you're not in the US, it doesn't matter. You could buy the shit out of this. Shaolin Invincibles, preserved from the only known 35mm print in existence, featuring Mandarin language with burned-in English subtitles. So if you speak Mandarin and you don't like subtitles on the screen, you're fucked. I'm sorry. 7 to 1, preserved from the only known 35mm print in existence, featuring an English language dub. Explosive martial arts trailer reel from the American Genre Film Archive vaults, which is 27 minutes long, and then English SDH subtitles. I do think it's cool they're putting that trailer reel on there, because this is probably another one of those releases where people who are big fans of Vinegar Syndrome or people who are new to Hong Kong and martial arts cinema will probably buy this because they're fans of Vinegar Syndrome and they trust the releases, they like the artwork or whatever. And then they'll see this trailer reel and they'll be like, oh, I gotta see all these other movies. And it gets people hyped and excited about martial arts cinema. So I think that's really cool. I do want to talk about one other thing briefly related to this release. And I'm going to put my computer down here. Someone in my Facebook group brought up the fact that these were Ocean Shores titles. So Ocean Shores, you know, was like a video distributor. I think it was a competitor of Tai Seng, but did they also, they had like were they the ones who had like the black belt, whatever it was called, cinema? Like they would show movies on TV as well. So they had TV distribution and they had like VHS distribution and stuff like that. What's so interesting is that someone in my Facebook group was like, you know, no one knows who owns a lot of those Ocean Shores titles. Like people have tried to track down the owners in Taiwan, like the license holders, basically the people you would have to have a contract with to license the film. And no one knows who actually owns them. I'm gonna take my glasses off because of all the glare and also because, as you can see, they're just basically falling apart. I'm gonna have a sip of my ginger ale. I hope everyone's doing well. Are you having a good day today? What are you up to? Let me know in the comments. What are you drinking right now? And is it as good as my Whole Foods 365 brand ginger ale? Which I'm drinking because I have kind of like a sinus thing right now. I kind of feel like I have a cold. So it's interesting because it's like, are they putting the, so American Genre Film Archive owns the print, right? And there's no law saying you can't own a print of a film if you don't have the license to it or whatever, but was Vinegar Syndrome able to track down the people who own this film and get the license to it? Or were they like, well, fuck it, no one knows who owns this film, they're not going to come after us, let's just release it? I'm very curious to know what the situation is, because I didn't know that about these titles, about these Ocean Shores titles, about the fact that like no one really knows who owns them, and like how to get the licensing for them and stuff like that. So if you know, because I know there are people who follow this channel, there are people in my Facebook group and stuff who actually know these things because they work in the industry. If you know who owns these titles, I'd be very interested to know. And if you know whether or not Vinegar Syndrome was able to actually get the license or whether they just decided to take the risk, I'd be very curious to know that. But the release is Shaolin Invincibles and 7-1. These are Taiwanese martial arts, just batshit insane extravaganzas. There's so many releases coming out right now. It's hard for me to decide what I should focus on picking up, because there's all that 88 stuff. Like I have to get Twin Dragons. I have to get the Fight Back to School set. Obviously, like there's so many films where I'm like, I have to get that it's getting hard for me to kind of decide with the Patreon money and with the Google ad revenue I get from this YouTube channel, like what should I put it towards? So if you have a strong opinion on that, please do let me know. My name is Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. I thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.